Hey guys, welcome to the Keeping It 99 podcast. Here with another episode with your host, me and Munnet. We have a very special guest today on very short notice. We have Waka Flocka Flame. Thank you so much for coming on this podcast with such a short notice. We really appreciate it. And
Yeah, you late.
yeah,
I came late to the interview. Y'all owe me one.
no, but thank you so much for coming on. It's highly appreciated. And I would just like to start with talking about obviously your music career, because it's your main thing. So what got you into music?
What got me into music? Poverty. Not knowing, feeling like I messed up in school. I was supposed to be like the best basketball player in my family, and you know what I'm saying, and blow it up. But instead I chose not to listen, and I chose to do what I wanted to do. And I chose to let anger get me. I chose to let peer pressure get me. I chose to let a lot of things get to me. So when that happened, I ended up going into the streets. And after that, and growing up, I felt like I messed everything up. So when my mother, she's into the music business, so she managed back in the day, Gucci's, the French Montanas, the Nicki Minaj's. So when I was around that, I'm like, hey, got another opportunity in life. So I started hanging around the music business and end up learning how to rap. I still can't kind of rap, but yeah. Whatever.
So I feel like that's a really inspiring story, especially when it comes to a lot of youth now. I think a lot of people, they feel like school's the only way, which school is a very good option, and you should stay in school. But I feel like it's those other avenues that a lot of people, once they fall out of the school or once they fall out of the sports, they kind of don't know what to do with their life. And I mean, it's really inspiring that you found something like music, which you propelled into an entire career, which was very, very successful. So what is some advice that you would give to the youth about how to really turn their life around?
First and foremost, when we talk about youth, we talking about 21 and down, right?
Yeah.
Anybody from the ages of 21 and down, you're still a kid. I don't care what anybody tell you. When you're 18, 19, 17, 20, you're a kid. You still a teen. I think after 19, you get 20, then 21, it's okay. You start feeling yourself. But you truly don't grow up till you're 25, 26. So anything under 26 to me, now I'll say that's youthful. Let me rephrase my statement. At 26, that's young. My advice to everybody is y'all need to experience, man. And just don't sit here and listen to everybody. There's no such thing as this is one way. Because every time somebody told me something was one way, I experienced something different in life. In life, it showed me 100 other ways. 100, and it could be by what they want to call black people, white people, Spanish people, American, not American, whatever you want to call it. I've been in every country. It's life, just experience, man. You don't know what you want. I never even know what I wanted to be until I got in my 20s. Before, when I was in school, I did definitely want to be an astronaut. I wanted to be a basketball player, or I wanted to do something in law. Just something I could argue people with. 'Cause I love debating. Some people, I'm passionate. A lot of my passion rubs off as anger. And a lot of people confuse passion with anger in my book. So the advice I give y'all, man, just live and experience. But listen. I love listening. A lot of people don't got OGs. Your OG is your parents. So a lot of people don't have parents. So in America, it's common in a lower class community for people to have big brothers or big homies or mentors or this, because in your household, that's where you get it at. And if you don't get that there, then obviously you go outside. But when people are blessed, I was blessed with a good parent. I'm not gonna lie. My mama was she was just everything, but I just didn't have a father around, kind of, but I had great uncles, great this. So I got to learn financial structure. I got to learn a lot of stuff. But a lot of kids don't have the opportunity. So the only way you can get that is experience. Just expand your friends. Hang with people you like and people that you think not cool, or you know what I'm saying? You have to. Because I'm a gangster nerd. People call me a gangster nerd. I'm what the heck is a gangster? Waka, your whole lifestyle is nerdy. They said, but you look gangster. They were bro, you look like you could just kill anybody. They be when I get around you, you're like a green Jolly Giant. And I'm like, what are they talking about? Then he's like, all right, what you do when you go home? Play games, watch cartoons, watch TV, talk sports, do this. He's like, all right, now what did you think a gangster do? I'm like, I don't know. He's like, they go home, they think of a master plan to burglarize, to do this. I'm like, oh, all right. So my advice to y'all, man, just live. Live, man. Don't just live, man. Just don't prejudge anything at your age. But it's good to just know what y'all want to do. Like, it's good to have an idea of what you want to do. And when you have these ideas, you go figure out if you actually like it. But just live, man. Experience. Experience made me Waka Flocka. If it wasn't for me experiencing the music business, I would not be Waka Flocka. If it wasn't for people that love me, I wouldn't be Waka Flocka. Them the only two things that made me. Other than that, nobody else. I be like, anybody can try to take claim. Man, people made me, man. Experience made me. That was my education.
And I want to go back to Isaiah's point about music. How has music, like, affected you in either a positive or negative way, and, like, the lessons it taught you?
Music, for me, music can hyphen anything. Like, in my life, like, how music, all right, let's see the effects of it. Let's go to it. I don't think, like, negative. I'm trying to break out of negative and positive and just look at the whole thing. But the one bad thing, but it became good in the end when I got like 36 now. But in the beginning, man, like, I felt like nobody actually loved me around me. I think people stopped loving who I was, like majority people, but a little bit did. But majority of people started loving what I could bring to the table. When I say bring to the table, meaning I could get everywhere damn near free. I could call any CEO, anybody around the world that I want to get access to. Money, obviously, clout, obviously. So people know you and I'm your friend. They just want to call me or FaceTime me, act like we best friends. But that shit right there is just not cool. You know why? Because it makes me feel like an idol. I'm not human. And that hurts. No matter what anybody say, it'll hurt you. Because you want somebody to actually like you for you and just want to be around. But that was one bad thing. Another bad thing, everybody stole my money. Like, I'm talking about a lot of people. But little did they know, I'm still a nerd, so I collected all the information. So I look at it like a positive. So everything that kind of was negative in my career ended up in the ending being positive. So I learned in my whole career, it's not about what's negative and positive. It's about how you look at it and what happens. So the beautiful part about me is I changed my life. Meaning I have a purpose. Like, I didn't have a purpose. Like, I didn't know I was going to even make it to see 30 years old or 25. I was just living life on the edge. Like, literally. Like, it's like jumping out of an airplane with half a parachute. Like, okay, I could land, I think. Like, that's how I was living, man. I'm telling you. I never knew you could build a whole parachute or extra parachute or have an instructor on your back when you jump out of an airplane. That's what it was. And being an artist was like a roller coaster. Literally, y'all. I'm telling y'all. Like 15 years of my life just like went by super fast. Fast. Like super fast. Like I was y'all age. And now I'm 36. My daughter's 17. You know what I'm saying? I just bought her a car. Like, she's y'all age. This is crazy, right?
Yeah.
Never I could see that in life ever. Happening how it happened. But it happens and it's fun. Like, I don't want to be young. Like, I cannot wait to be 40. Like, anybody telling y'all stay young and die or die young, no, that's a fudging lie. You know what I'm saying? I can't be cursing with y'all. That's a fudging lie, my boy. That's a lie. You want to be older because a lot of people say, man, but my skin get wrinkled. I don't do this because you ain't eating good.
Yeah.
That's all it is. When you get older, everything's a reflection of what you did before. So if you looking creepy, you got some creeps going in the inside. Meaning, man, you're not taking care of your organs, your digestive system. You have to eat good to look good. So that's what I say.
So I just want to go back to the point you just made about like getting older for the experience and kind of just like letting things happen and continue to grow old and not really like be afraid of like what's coming next. And I feel like, especially for me, I'm a senior in high school. I'm doing college applications right now. Like, I'm entering into this next stage of life, and it is kind of scary to think of that. Like, in a year from now, I'm going to be maybe in a completely different place with completely different
You
people.
are.
Uh, and so and so like
They'll know you from this interview, probably. And
probably.
other interviews you do.
Thank you. But like, what is some advice you'd give about like not fearing the future?
First of all, you should never in your life fear anything. Fear is a man-made devil too. To have fear is to shut everything out. Now, to be scared, that's cool. That's good. You need to be scared. You know why? It's like you never did this before. It's a human trait. It's great. But to let it grow to fear, never have fear. You doing stuff I never did. I never finished high school. I just was lazy. I didn't have like organization skills. I lacked that. I didn't believe I could do it. You know what I'm saying? So that's everything. And you shouldn't be scared. I'm not gonna lie, my boy. College is lit. Super lit. Now, depending on how hard you go in college, determines how easy life get in the ending of your 20s or how hard it's going to be fighting in your 30s. See, that's the thing. A lot of kids go to college and get lost in partying and becoming this image. You got to remember, man, college is borrowed time. That's not forever. You know what I'm saying? So you get there, it's like the real world in one school. You're around so many ethnicities, so many career-driven people. You're around your future. You know, I'm living in my future right now. Right now, I'm talking to y'all too. I'm in the future. No matter, it can make sense to y'all, it don't. But once upon a time, I was young, and they was like, "Hey, Waka, in the future, we're gonna have electric cars. In the future, we're gonna have phones, and we could be on FaceTime. We could be on the internet." They literally were saying that. Like, all that stuff didn't exist. Like, before, I had to go to my friend's house. I had to remember the streets. There was no Google Maps. I had to wait till I get home to talk on a cell phone. I couldn't go to Netflix. I had to go to a store they call Blockbuster. You go to Blockbuster and rent. I think that was kind of better because then you appreciated it better. You know what I'm saying? For me. But to y'all, I'm like, they ain't good. I'm going to watch it when I want to, man. I just want to click. So, but in y'all future, who knows what's going to happen? So right now, the past is the past. Y'all just need to worry about the present. If you worry about the present, you'll never have fear because what you do in the present is your future. So thinking about the future, of course you're going to be scared. Who's not going to be fearing the future? Like, you be like, yo, bro, like, what's going on? But if you could take your present, it's lit. Man, your pops is cool, my boy. Like, y'all, trust me, bro. You good, bro. If you don't listen, I'm telling you, it literally gonna be the migraine to your headaches.
And
trust.
Yeah, I want to go back to your point. I was always told live life one step at a time. So you shouldn't have to stress what's gonna come next because you don't know if it's gonna happen. You don't know, God forbid, if you don't wake up tomorrow. You know, and
but
also.
Why worry about that?
Yeah, and also about the past that already happened, like, you can't go back and change it. Yeah. So just live in the present, like you said.
Yeah, all right, man.
Yeah.
So I ain't had this opportunity at your age to talk to somebody and tell me that. I didn't. People around me was selling weed, crack, this, that, and the third. Not judging them, but just saying.
Yeah, and I think, like, this live in the present is something that I've learned, like, throughout high school specifically. It's like when I started, like, freshman year of high school, I was on, like what you're saying, like, I didn't really take school that seriously. I kind of, like, I was looking for other things. And now that I'm a senior and I'm looking back on high school, I was telling him this the other day, like, looking back on high school, there's so many things that I would have done differently. And most of those things were just try harder, like, apply myself more in school. And because in 10 years from now, what matters is what I do in school and not, like, it's not necessarily what I do outside.
Yeah, bro, I'm telling you right now, that your theology of what you just said is life. But you wouldn't know it yet because you haven't experienced the rest. Trust me. The things that took you 4 years in high school actually could have took you 2 if you just went hard, or 3. Like, most people come home and just go play. I had a friend that come home and go straight to studying. He went extracurricular, he'll stay after school, take an extra thing. Summer, he don't go out, he'll take summer classes. I just be like, bro, what are you doing? Like, bro, he finished high school in what, after first semester of his junior year. I know people that finished high school at 16, went to college at 16. but their classmates didn't. Like, they played. You know what I'm saying? So, and one thing I tell both of y'all to never stop doing is use your imagination. Like, what made me Waka Flocka is my imagination, and I have faith of that. So God gave me the ability to like believe in my mind. So I'm an adventurous person. I love adventures. My favorite game is Zelda. Zelda is adventurous. I like Lord of the Rings. I love like adventurous things I can use my imagination in. And with my imagination, what makes my imagination's reality is faith. And what actually make both of those come together is action. I'm never scared. I'm never shy. I don't care who I'm talking to. Before Waka Flocka or anything, bro, I'm gonna go ask you. I don't care. Only thing you can do is tell me, not right now. I was one of those kids like, hey, can I borrow $1? Like, I'm not scared. I don't care how big, bad, tall, creepy you are. I'm finna ask you, bro. Because at the end of it, you never, ever know what the next person gonna say. And you gotta look at it like this, right? Don't ever play God. Let God be God. Just be the vessel. So meaning, to me, this is just my little humble opinion. I think when we try to think for people, that's an act of playing God. How could you think for me, right? It's like asking for a podcast. Like, hey, man, I wonder if he'd do it. Nah, he wouldn't do this, man. He too busy. He don't have time. You know what I'm saying? Like, but look, you ask, man, you never know. Like, you just never know. Like, just don't be afraid to ask. Excuse me. Don't let rejections make you reject the whole idea of why you did. Like, you're gonna hear no. Get used to it. It is what it is. But in no, it's still a oh. You get what I'm trying to say? It's still one of them, oh, I see why I should say yes. So that's how you gotta start thinking, man. It's like, you can't be like trying to be the guy that just hear no and like, okay, new subject. Oh, no, buddy. Oh, you said no today? Oh, okay, I remember that. That's the kind of person I was. I turned a no into a okay. I just add a K at them. No, okay. That's all right, this guy. Like, you got to just keep the energy in it, because the day you let your vibration drop, you're going to drop with it. So keep your vibration up. Just be lit. Especially these podcasts. Hey, man, hey, let's talk. I'm telling you, man, a lot of people don't talk. And the ones that do is the people we listen to.
I really like that, like, no okay. And then the last thing you just said, like, people that don't talk, we don't listen to. And I think, like, obviously in your music career, you probably heard a lot of no's when it came to features, when it came to...
Honestly, I didn't.
Oh, well, I guess.
I never did features, little bro. Again, I did music to get out of my mental environment, my physical environment, and my spiritual environment. I did it. I'm dead serious. I never wanted to be number one. I don't care who thought I was a good rapper. I didn't even care. All I wanted was my money. I just wanted to have a good time and vibe out. Like, that's all I'm about, bro. Having good times, making money, not capitalizing on people, but capitalizing on my situation in life. That's it.
Yeah. And I feel like in today's society, we want people's validation. Like, we want people to agree with us. We don't want people to go against us. And I want to...
The majority.
Yeah, the majority of people.
I'm going to show you the power of words, little brother. When you say we want, we... Spiritually, you're telling yourself you're like everybody else, right? So it's good to use words like majority of the people want validation. You get what I'm trying to say? Because you don't never want to be the sheep with the hurdle. You want to be the guy narrating the sheep. Meaning the sheep to you is your world. We all in different worlds. No matter if we walk on the same planet, all of us see that. We could literally grow up in the same house, same environment, same rule, and still be two different people. So remember that. Words are super, I'm talking about extremely powerful. It's a spell. I tell you to spell your name, you spell it out. You know what I'm saying? You know, the word, spirit is breath, breathing. So that's the spirit. You live in the spirit. The spiritual realm is the power of the tongue. That's vibrating. So now this is spirit. We talking spiritually right now. So people are like, why can you spiritual? I'm like, yeah. Breath, breathing is spirit. Like, all of us are spiritual. So before anything gets you in it, you're living in the spirit. So watch the words, man.
Yeah.
The words, all you gotta do is wake up like, yo, I'm lit. You go be lit. Like,
I like to latch on to that last thing where it's like speak into existence, and like there's this big notion nowadays where it's like you can be who you want to be, you just have to speak it into existence. And I really like the power in that, whether like question the reality of it, whether it's true or not. I believe it's true that personally, like if I say I'm going to be successful, you're going to be successful. And like a great example of that is actually this podcast right now we're sitting in with you.
The 99.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one guy make 100% of the conversation. Let's go.
like I remember the first time I asked, like, you know, like even the idea of having someone like yourself on the podcast, like it was one of those things where it's like, oh no, he's not going to do it, but obviously, you know, see what happens when you ask. And for me, it's kind of that, like, I like, we always had it in our heads, and we talked about it a few times where it's like, man, like, what's the next step? What's that person, or what's that topic that we can have that brings it to the next step?
Yeah.
And I think it's always that looking, like you're saying, like looking forward, and at the same time being in the present, where it's like, enjoy the present and use that to like propel your future, I think.
Hey, you're right. If you think that, you're right. Long as it don't hurt anybody or do anything, but you are 100%. I think like that. You're right. You're right. What's your question? You got some questions, man. Go ahead and talk. He
Well,
got a lot
this
of
is
He does.
yeah. This is a different topic.
Go
This is
ahead. Let's not do anything. Talk
'cause
anything.
I kind of like, I follow you on Instagram and I like know stuff about you. So I wanted to ask you about business. I know you're a very big guy in business in that category.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you about like young entrepreneurs. How should they strive to get better? Like, do you have any advice for young entrepreneurs to get better in their field?
Yeah, definitely. My first advice to you is to know that you're your first business. You. So, determine what you do with you is the first business of it all. Meaning that how people look at you, how you treat your body, how you treat yourself, what you surround yourself around, what do you work towards. And you see people with great careers, you see what I'm saying, in life, that's their first successful business. I think for me, for y'all era, y'all era is not that. I can't give you advice I did growing up, because I didn't have probably 50% of the tools y'all have today. My advice to y'all right now, if you want to be an astronaut, Google it. Go on YouTube and look at real astronauts talk. It's boring to people that be like, that's boring, I don't want to hear all that. But how do you want to be something but don't listen to a guy that did it for 40 years, 30 years? You get me? So for my advice to y'all is start investigating it, man. I had no financial literacy until YouTube and people. I look up people and they're like, oh, this guru and this guy. I'm like, oh, okay, this guy's a guru. Let's try to meet him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then when I look into him, I start meeting a whole bunch of other people like him. I'm like, holy crap, I didn't even know this was in the world. So that's what I advise y'all to do, man. My advice to any young person is to have financial literacy. You don't even have to be an accountant. You literally need to know about financing. If you don't know about finance and trying to do business, it's like going in the ocean with a jet ski and saying I'm about to just drive a jet ski to from America to Canada. I'm gonna make it. No, buddy. No. That's literally you going and saying I'm gonna be an entrepreneur and don't have no financial literacy. And it's thousands and millions of people like it that don't have none. And then another thing for my advice in business is, your business is private. You should never tell people exactly how you make capital. And I don't mean this in a sneaky way, because it's private.
Okay.
It's trade secrets. Now, giving somebody a pathway on how you got there and the books you use, now, to me, I love doing that. But a lot of people want me to break it down to them. I'm like, bro, I can't. Then you gonna know how I got my money. But what I would do for you is give you the books. I read books, man. I'm just being 100 with y'all. I got thousands of books on my phone. I love reading. I read what I need and I stop. And then in life, I go back to some books. It took me 5 years to read. Because I don't like just reading a full book. I got what I need. I'm good. So I put a bookmark right there. I got 50 books that on chapter 3, chapter 10 here, chapter 8 here. But I use a highlighter. So anytime I want to go back to the books, I just read everything I highlighted. Boom. I'm talking the book pop right back in my head. So I read with a highlighter as well. I love that. I can't even read without a highlighter.
How important is reading?
True. It's just as important as washing your ass. That's how important it is. So if you don't read, reading is a need, man. It's a quote, man. They say if you don't want somebody to know something, hide it in the book. So hey, look, I'm reading. I love reading, bro. I'm actually addicted to it. First and foremost, before anything, I'm going to go read the book.
Yeah.
I'm going to go buy electrician, right? I go Barnes and Nobles and buy electricity for dummies. I love the book for dummies. I love it because I'm a dummy. I don't know anything, so I will admit one thing about like not being embarrassed. I learned that being an artist is admitting to yourself. Just admit it, man. Like as being y'all age, it's hard to admit stuff, right?
Yeah.
Man, I'm admitting it, bro. I'm like, look, Waka, you is an idiot, bro. You don't know this. You need to figure it out. If you can't figure it out, understand it enough that you know, like, okay, I understand it. I'm not the best at it, but I understand it. If you could deal with that, but don't let that be your normal, though. Don't ever, like, doing the bare minimum be your normal. Exude yourself. Because that shit, it just felt better, man. Trust me, man. And just always learn. Like, I'm 36 years old, bro. I learn every day. I never stop learning. I don't think I'm one of them guys that's never in my life going to stop learning. And if the day you stop learning is the day you become a dinosaur. That's the day you get stuck up in a museum. And people start pointing at you, oh, legend. You know, people, oh, it's a legend. He look all old and out of shape and just like, because he stopped learning, man. You got to keep learning, man. Keep learning, man. Life is about learning, man. It's experience.
I want to ask you something. What's your input on, like you said, learning, but learning from someone younger than you? Like you want to, you know that you're older and you have more knowledge than them,
Yeah.
but learning from someone else a new skill that's younger than you.
What have I learned from somebody that's younger than me? I learned a lot of stuff from people that's younger than me. I'm not gonna lie, but the only thing somebody younger than me got to offer, man, is ideas. And just tell me, like, people y'all age and younger, y'all just know all the new stuff because y'all born in it. So it's not like y'all don't have to, like, y'all don't. I got 19 years. How old are you?
I'm 15.
I'm 17.
I got 20 years on him, 21 years on him. Got 20 years on him. I mean, 19 on him and it's 18 years on you. That's information that I don't even need to, like, imagine if I erased that and know everything today. Oh my God, it'd be worse, right? But it's, for me, it's impactful, but for y'all, it's not, because I got 18 years of knowledge that y'all will never be able to get. Y'all can read it, but I experienced it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a difference. So that's the power in knowledge. This is why you hear older people out. You listen to them. Like, just listen, bro. I'm telling y'all, like, that's the power in being older. I just got more time than y'all.
So like how important is mentorship growing up? Like as you grow older, like how important is it?
I still got mentors. I call them big homies. The OGs, man. You know what I'm saying? The original generals, man. The original gurus, not just the original gangster. It's the original guru to me. Because I have to, man. Like, I want to know accounting. So your dad is one of the guys I learned accounting from. He's like literally one of the best guys I ever listened to. Because he's by the book. There's no cutting no corners with him. I'm telling you right now, you try to break the law with Sobe, you're going to jail.
Yeah.
And that's amazing, though. You see what I'm saying? So you want to surround or even connect with guys like him. But usually a guy like me would never talk to Sobe. Because I'm like a rapper, I'm cool. Like, I don't talk to a guy that do accounting. But me, I love that. Like, all my friends is like your dad. Like, all my friends, I don't know, bro, just because it's smart. I have to talk to people that's smart. Like, because I know what I know. So you have to, man. And you just, when you read, again, going back to books, you know finance ain't just about accounting. It's a tax attorney, tax strategist, financial forecaster, da-da-da. You wouldn't know that if you didn't read. So I'm not an accountant, but I read a book called Accounting 101, and it taught me everything. Enough to say I need to fire all my accountants I had. Enough to tell. So you got to know these things, man. Because some people will give you the basic information and make you spend money on Harvard information when they give you 7th grade information. But you would never know because you illiterate in the subject. So again, that's it.
So just a quick advert. If you've not watched the podcast with my dad, it's up here. Anyways, back to it.
That's a good marketing tool.
Yeah.
It's dope.
But like,
hold on, before you ask
Yeah.
that question, how did y'all get y'all podcast name?
A random name generator.
What?
Yeah.
99%.
Yep.
That's a big meaning, man. 99. 9 plus 9 is what?
18.
1 plus 8? 1 plus 8?
9.
Hey, I got the 9 show.
That's
Numerology. It's the power of the 9. Double energy of the 9. Wow. Okay. Yin and Yang show, the 99 plus 1 person, 100%.
Yeah.
You can play with it, man. Pause.
We
please.
could, yeah. Maybe we can make a.
I gotta say pause, man. That's weird.
Maybe we can make a little song. Maybe we can feature on your next single called 99.
I'll get me and Martha Stewart. Martha, 99, I'm 1. No, I'm just playing.
But back to the subject about about again, like when it comes to reading and becoming literate in the subjects that so, like a lot of times that stuff is boring. Like I know, like sometimes I go work with my dad. Like I'm 100% honest. Like I think that
Yeah.
that stuff's like kind of boring, but it's
it
really
don't have
important.
no purpose for you.
Yeah, well,
You don't pay mortgage, light,
That's
car
true.
insurance,
Yeah,
you taxes, you don't care about it. But the day you do, I'm telling you, if you paid attention to that office, it's gonna kick right in. You gonna thank God, man. I'm telling you, King. Like a lot of stuff I did with my mother, man. I was just be like, man, ugh. All right,
that's low. Yeah, where even is that? Oh, it's right there.
pretty close.
Dang. Okay.
I could read the tail number. That was weird.
I mean, there's an Air Force base like right there. So
Zombie apocalypse, probably. But definitely, man, I definitely did things like with my mother that I should fall asleep with her. I should literally be like, I used to hate food shopping with my mother. I'd be crying at food shopping. You ever been food shopping with your parents to the point your legs hurt?
Yeah.
yeah,
That was
yeah,
me.
yeah.
I had back problems. I'm like, Mom, come on. Oh, I can look at this. Ain't it so cute? I should just buy this little jar of pickles. I'm like, the pickles. Let's go home. I'm hungry. You know what I'm saying? So it's just important, though, man. It's important, man. Just one thing about parents, and you should always know this, my boy. Like, I don't care what anybody say. Your parent job, bro. They wake up to provide for you. No matter how much they over talk, listen. It's a reason, man. Nobody's not talking to you that don't love you. People that don't love you, man, you think they finna stop and like, hey, man, tie your shoe up. They gonna walk right by you and not even hope you trip. If you trip, you pray that that's a good person to lift you up. Like, hey, you okay? Most people gonna step right over you and keep going. I got things to do. I ain't have no time. So that's a parent, man. I listen to my mother. Like, she saved my life. At times I didn't, but you know. Yeah.
I mean, I think parents do know best, and it's something like I've learned. You know, it's kind of scary to say that on something my parents watch, but parents, I will say that parents are always right. And maybe sometimes the way how they say things, or like the how is maybe wrong, but what they say, the content.
They exaggerate. I'm a
Yeah.
parent. I'm telling you, I would exaggerate. Just so you could just be not even scared, just mindful of it. Like,
Yeah.
like, and my dad did say, yeah, of course. But parents, we grow up in different eras for my kids. So it's just different.
Yeah, but like the parents, like again, like they're always right. And for me, it's something I've noticed, especially like, you know, growing through high school, like freshman and sophomore year. I did not listen to my parents at all. Like I never did. I always thought that like, I knew better. Like, you know, they're from Egypt. They're from, you know, they're older. Like they don't get it. But now, like I'm looking back on all these things my parents said, and like things they predicted that would happen based on like my actions, my behaviors, and I'm sitting here and I'm just like, wow.
Because
Like-
they experienced it. And they
Yeah.
friends. They watched their friends be their kids. It's scary, bro. I'm telling you. I got friends that was potheads. Like real life potheads. Bro, but they are... I hate to say, my boy, I never had seen a successful pothead from high school in my life. I never ever seen it. Ever. Like ever. I never seen like... I don't know, man. I just didn't. I'm sorry. But that's just my era, right? I never seen a successful, egotistic person. Like, I never, half the time, the guy that was like super famous in high school or like a jockey kind of looking guy from TV, he literally be working like in a neighborhood supermarket. It's crazy, bro. So you should just like, you're right. The parents be right. Well, boy, I know my mom was always right. My mother was kind of scary though. Like, she come to the school, it's going down. Like it's not no, hey mom. It's like, oh shit, she about to beat me. Like, bro, it's serious. Like,
And how important is it, like, I mean, obviously it's very important listening to your parents, but from your personal experience, like, how much should you take what your parents say and go with it blindly, even if you feel like it's wrong, or do you kind of like filter out like some of the things?
you know what? It's hard to listen to anybody about something I never experienced. But what I do is use my mother's and like other elders' words that they say to me as literally as a roadmap when I'm walking. So it's like my Google. So when I'm experiencing these things, I still hear that voice about that. So I'm mindful if I see that. I always, to this day, right now, I'm still using my mother's words to this day. Like that's my roadmaps, my uncle's words, my Grammy's words, like my mentor's words. I mean, that is literally my roadmap. That's the light bulb in my dark path. Literally. I'm talking about literally. And to me, hell and the heavenly state, heaven thinking, to me, hell is not knowing anything. That's, to me, that's the theology of being pitch black. Like going to somewhere where it's torture, it's misery, it's depression, because that's in your head. Now, heavenly thinking is having information on it, experiencing it, not having this fear factor, just being, not caring about being scared. It's cool. That's heavenly thinking, man. That's a God thinking. That's the God within you. So when they say God is within you and it's heaven you going to, the heaven is here first, mine. If you ain't in heaven here, you ain't going nowhere to heaven. To me, heaven is right here or I'm walking on it. That's how I feel. I don't think I'm descending to hell or heaven. Like I'm not, it's right here. There it goes right here. Some people need religion for it. Some people need this for it. Some people, it's no one way to it. But when you find your way, lock in. Lock in, man. That's all I can tell you. With an open mind, lock in.
And I mean, I feel like you should always listen to your parents, but should you listen to them about your future? Like, go to college, do this. Should you listen to them about that?
I can't see why you should. I literally can't see why you shouldn't. My mother wasn't like just saying my parent. Like my mother was like, I remember in high school I was like, yo, I'm tired, I ain't going to school. And she literally said, okay, that's your dumb ass. But I guarantee you getting out of my house the day you turn 18 years old. Bro, I'm telling y'all, I sat in that bed for 10 minutes. I'm like, nah, I'm about to go to school. I'm out of here. So I ain't have the kind of mother like, you going to college, you doing this, you doing that. She was more so of like, I'm not going to tell you shit because she's a woman. So she ain't have, if I had a dad, bro, obviously, your father like would be like, listen, I don't care what you want to be. You go pick something right now. And you need to do that and then go do whatever you want to do. But you going to show me that you really could do something. So that's smart though, right? But I had that kind of mother still, but she showed me with action. She never told me anything. Like my mother was just so ambitious that it was impossible for me not to have ambition. Like I never knew what job she did, but I know she had 50 jobs. Like my mother, she never was home, but always home. It's weird, right? She always made sure she cooked dinner with 3 jobs. 3. So I can see my mother before we go to school, my mother home. She leave before we get on the bus. By the time I get home, she's home cooking. I'm like, damn, you know what I'm saying? She cooking dinner. But by the time Dragon Ball Z go off, because Dragon Ball Z came out like 5 o'clock, it went off at 5:30, 5:45. She leaving out the door to go to the next job. Right before I go to sleep or late, she coming in the house. So she was just like one of them working moms that was just going. And it was 5 boys in a 3-bedroom house. 3-bedroom apartment, 4-bedroom apartment. 3-bedroom apartment, yeah. She worked hard, man, I'm telling you. Like, my mom was just like, she was just the epitome of like, I'm not going to quit. Mm-hmm. So I could not be a quitter. How can I quit, man? My mother, like, raised 5 men in her house. Like, she ain't quit. I'm not going to quit, man. So my mother's words and listening to them about going to college and this, like, I was in the streets, my boy. I'm not going to lie. Like, it wasn't no college in my future. I messed that up. I'm not gonna lie, and I feel like I let my mother down because I didn't make her happy. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I was big when I did music. It was all for my mother because I feel like I let her down. So I wouldn't want y'all to experience that because what if y'all don't get to be an artist with this high paying job? You know what I'm saying? Or successful paying job. So of course you better listen to your parents. Listen to them, man. Please, like, don't go against them, my boy. I'm telling you, man. One thing you shouldn't do is go against the guys that help you get here. Like your physical God is your parents. How I feel, or the people that played your parents. Them your gods, man. Seriously. Or it could be your demons. Who knows?
And you said something about your mom being like very ambitious and how that made you become ambitious. And there's a statistic that you are the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. So how important would you say in your own life and things that you've noticed is it to surround yourself with like-minded people and that people that push you? This kind of goes back to the mentors thing, but people that push you to grow and become like a better person.
Yeah, yeah, definitely get a point in time in life. For me, I learned I had to create that for me, and I always heard people tell me that, right? But how? No, everybody is. I'm gonna tell you something. Being young at your age, everybody is so good at telling you like what's good and what's bad, but it's like a 1% of adults that ever gave a solution. You be like, bro, where's the solution then? You keep telling me like I need to surround myself. Who are these people? Right? So for me, man, I know the only time I got to surround myself around these kind of people is when I know what I wanted to do. So if I wanted to be a basketball player, I go meet a coach, I go meet a defensive player, I meet a shooter, and surround myself by them every day. And now you in that mode. But the day you get away from that and get around something different, you're gonna get into that mode. So that's what I feel like the solution of you are what you hang around. You ever hang around a lot of friends that game all day? Your gaming partners, they know everything because they playing games. Like, yo, bro, you heard this on the news and da-da-da. They shouldn't like your nerd buddies. Like, but if you got friends that like partying all day, all they talking about is like the new fashion, the new car, the new this. So you stuck in that world. So all you might have friends that's good with their hands or engineers. Then you in the engineer world. It's fire like that. That's what they mean when the solutions come like that. That's the solution. So when you in school and you see like what they want to call nerds, a guy that don't talk, bro, I was the kind of person that just I'm walking right up on them. Yo, what up, bro? I seen you had a Zelda cartridge in your pocket. Like I find something that links to them to create conversation. And then once I crack the egg or break the ice, I don't force it. I just be like, yo, bro, all right. Like, yo, there might be days go by, and next thing you know, I'm like, bro, I'm not like weird, bro. I'm trying to be your friend, bro. Don't be weird about it. Like I start being sarcastic. Next thing you know, bro, you be friends, bro. So I don't force my friends. I make my friends, bro. I let it. Sometimes people don't gotta talk to you. People don't have to acknowledge you. Like you do the acknowledgement. You are what you want. It's like them people you surround yourself around. You are what you give out. You receive what you give out. Meaning, if you don't introduce yourself to this person, why should this person introduce themselves to you? That's how you should think. Don't think for them. So, yeah, surround yourself around the people that you want to be around. If it's a guy in school that's good at math, find you a math buddy. You're not using him. That's your introduction on meeting that person. Now, when you're using him, it's the only time you meet this guy or female or group. It's when you need them. That's using them. It's not cool. You know what I'm saying? You capitalizing on people and not the situation. So now, and the solution on what I'm saying is basically like, if you got a friend, I just love math. I'm going to just use math for
That's fine. Go for it.
So I'll be like, yo, so I'll say this. Like, all right, this guy's good at math. What else do he do? And next thing you know, you start seeing this stuff. He might like pizza with some weird ranch or this on it. You like, this is nasty. But he's like, I'm going to try it because my boy ate it. You ate it? I gave pizza because I seen somebody put like French fries on pizza and put ketchup on it. I'm like, it's disgusting. Like, who the hell did that? I did it. Life changed. You know what I'm saying? It was fun to everybody. Like, but it's just like you just learn a lot of stuff, man. By the way, that's an unhealthy meal, man. You have a lot of gas too. It's crazy.
No, I really like the notion of just going out, meeting people, like really putting yourself out there. And I think that's something that because COVID started near the end of my freshman year and kind of took out all sophomore year and most of junior year, honestly. And something I've noticed now senior year versus freshman year, you could just go up and talk to anyone. You could just, go up and talk. Like no one would like like no one was like, you know, in little cliques. Like it's whatever. Maybe that's just because it was freshman year, but people were always talking, always meeting. I made so many new friends. Now that senior year is here, it's so much more awkward. And I don't know whether that's a product of COVID or just the fact that it's senior year or what it is, but it's
getting grown.
Yeah.
People do that. They get awkward. They're like, oh, he listen to this rap. I don't like that guy. He listen to this R&B thing. I don't like that guy. They get like that, bro.
It's just like, and so
it's growing pains.
Yeah. And so I've noticed that it's just like, it's harder to go out and to, you know, meet new people, find new things, find new experiences with other people. And I really like this notion of just like, what do you have to lose almost? Like the worst thing that happens when you go up to someone and you ask is, what you said earlier, no. And you turn that no into
right now, I don't rock with people like you. I actually heard somebody say that, right? Like, yo, nah, I don't talk to people like you. I'm like, what do you mean? Prejudiced, racist? What are you, biased? What? They're like, nah, and they break it down. I'm like, who told you that? And I met people like that. Like people that actually like, I don't deal with people like you, Waka. I'm like, damn, what is that? And I was saying those things, and they started talking. I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? That's like you. Like, you say, I watch you. I kind of know you. Yeah, you know the internet. But let's match the internet with what the person you see and see if that connects. So a lot of people like people for what they see them as. So if I see people like put up an image, I actually want to hear you talk. I don't want to hear you talk structured. That's why when we did this interview, I'm like, look, don't tell me no questions.
Yeah.
It's fake. What am I doing? That's fake. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the organic, like conversations, like it's something like with the podcast we try to do is we try to like encourage guests to not know what we're going to talk about them with.
A lot of people are scared of that, but a lot of people love it. So.
Yeah, because it honestly, I think it gives off better conversations because you really speak what first comes to your mind, and I think a lot of times what first comes to your mind is what you really believe. You don't have time to politically correct what you're saying or to put it into a way that a lot of people, like, you just say what you want to say and what you feel about it. And I think that it's important as, you know, a listener, not just this podcast, but in general, to really take in what other people think. And I think that the number one thing I've learned from this podcast is get outside of my bubble of living in East Cobb with everyone thinking the same, everyone doing the same thing. You know, the same kids go to the same parties every single week. The same kids do the same amount of studying every week. Like, to get out of that bubble and to meet people with different backgrounds, different structures of life, different walks of life. And I think that the knowledge that you gain from other people's experience, even if it's not the same experience as you, as myself, like, for example, like, yeah, I've never been in the streets. I probably, hopefully will not end up in the streets, but it's important.
You can't be in it. When people say they're from the streets, it's just like you came up from the streets.
Yeah. Like, I will never experience that, but I feel like it is still important.
You ain't missing nothing. Like, trust me, bro. You ain't missing shit, bro. No, that's just other people's beginnings.
Yeah. And I think it's important to learn other people's perspectives, where they come from, because not only does it give a light on, you know, a lot of times it gives a light on like how they act, how they speak now, but it also, it allows you to understand that, hey, you don't have to, you know, grow up being a smart kid to be successful. You don't have to grow up being, you know,
you don't got common sense then.
Like, you don't have to be the top of your class. You don't have to, you know, be taking all these APs. You don't have to go to Harvard. You don't, like, you can just be who you are and really embrace.
You can go to Harvard, though.
You can, yeah, you can. But you
Howard University.
But
nothing wrong with it. Now.
There's nothing wrong with it. I'm not saying that, but you can be who you want to be. You, as long as you figure out like what your thing is and you run with it, and you don't let anyone tell you, hey, that's not cool. Like, for example, like with you in music, if someone just told you like, nah, bro, your music's trash.
Duh, I heard. Yo, listen, by the way, little bro, right? When I first came out doing music, I was called the dumbest rapper.
Yeah.
It's like, man, he's gonna kill hip hop. I actually watched them make 50 worst hip hop artists and put me on a list. I was like, whatever number. I'm like, bro, I got a whole hit single of saying I'm a whack rapper. Thank you. Like, give me another one. But fast forward to now, to hear people like, yo, Waka Flocka is like one of the smartest rappers ever. I'm like, damn, what changed? But what I did was I actually went on TV. Was like, yo, Waka, you gonna go to college? Like, yeah, I want to go to college for geometry. Like, I didn't care. Like, cause I know like people want to see a wild idiot. So this guy like, oh, this guy going stupid, man. So when I do something gangster or crazy, he's like, oh, this guy's like, phew. So this the image people want to see. Feed it to him. You see what I'm saying? So it is what it is, bro. Again, like, don't worry about what people think. 9 times out of 10, the people in your college or your high school, I mean, bro, you're not going to see these people in 5-10 years. I'm telling y'all not.
Yeah.
Bro, I probably see 0.2%, if not 0.1% of the people I went to high school with that I actually even remember. Just being 100 with you. Like, so at the end of the day, man, you only remember the people you need to. That's life because you get real busy, man. So in another 10 years, you're 27 years old. A lot will change. A lot. Like a lot.
I mean,
you 25
like,
right here, my boy. You a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, like, bad publicity is still publicity, and I think that's something that, like, a lot of people need to realize, especially with us, like, just like in the content creation, business, like, your name's got to get out somehow. Like, if you look at people who are really successful getting their name out, you look at, for example, like Jake Paul, like, I don't think you can pull up 10 logical quotes that he said in his whole life. But what matters is his name is out there. He created a name for himself. He created a character.
No, he definitely did. That's the only thing I know Jake Paul from.
Exactly.
Like, I literally, as a 36-year-old man, I don't know Jake Paul beginnings. The only thing I know is that this guy stuck to boxing, and now he looks like a real boxer. That's literally what I know. I just knew that he did YouTube first. Not that he's not cool or he's not successful, but what make me like respect him for what he do now is he actually stuck to something, conquered it, became successful off of it, and now look who the joke's on. Forget YouTube that he known for. All that didn't matter. What mattered was it got him to that very moment.
Yeah.
He captured that very moment. He owned that very moment. Now he controlled the perspective of his life, and he could do anything. Sky's the limit. He's a living example of it's nothing about, and for y'all era, it's nothing about how you begin. It's what you take control of and how hard you conquer it, and you block out the noise. Everybody in the world, bro, don't like something they never heard. Nobody. You think when people created cars, for example, this is Jake. Like, just think like this. Go off subject, but on subject. I was reading, right? Because we created electric cars before. So I got electric car company. It's just a 4-letter word. It's a 4-letter company. It's kind of cool. So Ben had it too. We got 2 prototypes. Shout out to this. Yeah, that's things Waka do. Sorry, y'all. I just had to.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Yo, but this how it got me to this information. I actually seen, like, it was in a newspaper. Could y'all believe people was like, yo, how can a car outdo a horse? Horses can go anywhere. If you hear that today, you'll be like, what?
Yeah.
But then it was like, hey, man, the horses could go places the cars can't. Guess what they did? They created roads. Next thing you know, yo, horses is dangerous. There's kids out here playing. Yo, man, like stop signs. More signs. Next thing you know, man, car crashes. Things is going off the cliff. This sign. I mean, red light, blue light. I mean, red light, green light, yellow light. Black guy created this stuff. Then next, it's just a lot of stuff. So meaning ideas build, man. So you never know in the beginning what happens. It's always how you move with the now. So
Yeah, and I think that's a very big, like, I really like that point where it's like things build on each other. The beginning doesn't matter, but what comes out of it does. And I think I'm taking an engineering class right now, and one of the biggest things we're stressing, it's being stressed in the class, is when you brainstorm, whatever you say, whatever idea comes first, just write it down. Even if it's like completely, off the wall. It's like you throw spaghetti at a wall till one sticks, and you take that and you build on it and you build on it, and all of a sudden, you went from something that has no value to $1 million idea. And I think that you can apply that same design process to everything in life. I mean, for example, if you go look at the first episode of this podcast and you compare it to now, I mean, it's only been what, 5?
The sound quality is better.
Yeah. It's only been what, 5 months?
Yeah.
5 months, something like that. Like, if we didn't keep building on it, if we didn't keep, say, okay, now we need mics. Now we need, we're working on getting a camera. Now we need headphones. Now we need, and we keep building and learning new techniques and new, skills. Like, we would not be here right now.
We'll go back to the word for y'all: experience. See the power of experience? Mm-hmm. Creates experts. Yeah, man. Expiration dates. So things you learned got an expiration date now. Now you got more stuff like experience, my boys. It's just experience is just it's like the E words is kind of cool, right? It's easy. Experience. It's like the E words is always like easy. It's just like it's like kumbaya. But the E words also could mean evil, right? And to me, I feel like it's evil of us to look at things from only a bad perspective. Meaning, like, in the beginning, man, we ain't have this. But when you look at the word evil and go backwards, it's L-I-V-E, it's live. Live is life. So the more you live and go at it, life start progressing in that. You see what I'm saying? So when somebody try to push evil on you, man, push it back to them with some life. One thing an evil idealist hate is living life. See what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm a Gemini, so I could latch words to all the conversations. So we all talking about the same thing in different subjects. The more y'all talk, I'm gonna tell y'all experience. Experience. Y'all go look at the podcast. It's gonna be like, wow, like what?
I mean, that evil to live thing, that's where the rapper comes in, the lyricist. I mean, I think going back to like the power of words, like words are powerful.
Not to cut you off.
Go ahead.
If you was to do a test right now for me to win $1 million, like, hey Waka, what's the adjective, pronoun, metaphors, all I wouldn't even know it. Me, Waka, 36 years old, I couldn't tell you. Waka, could you believe that?
Yeah.
But most people are like, I don't.
It works.
Because Ebonics worked for me in my field. Ebonics was my power. So y'all finding y'all superpowers. Maybe this right here is teaching both of y'all how to communicate with people, because y'all in the future y'all gonna have something that's so powerful that you're gonna need to do this. Maybe this breaks the ice for y'all being around people that's celebrities or have some kind of clout, or it makes you more comfortable in your skin on who you are. That's what it is. It's another way. Y'all probably don't think like that because you got a little 17, 15 year old mind.
Well, thank you so much, Waka.
Thank you.
For coming on the podcast. I know it was super short notice.
It's all good. I mean, I was your dad all day. We ate some real good Greek food. So,
Yeah.
bro, I was there like a stuffed turkey. He just walk around, man, like, good idea. I was so full, bro. I almost fell asleep. If you ever ate so much food, you just like,
Yeah.
that was me, literally. Falafels, and it's over. When the falafel hit with the hummus, I'm like, yeah, it's game time. They bought fried Greek cheese. I'm like, it's over with. God. They set the shit on fire. I'm like, shoot on fire. I'm sorry, y'all.
It's okay. Don't worry about it. That's what editing is for.
I'm a pirate. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Don't worry about it. But we highly appreciate you coming on the podcast. And, hopefully in the future, maybe we'll get you on another time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, comment, subscribe, share it.
Post notifications so you're notified when the next episode comes out.
And hopefully we have a lot more exciting things lined up for you guys. So just be sure to stay in tune. So.
99.
All right, that's all.